Yeah, it took a while for me to like Capaldi. It took a little bit for me to like Smith. I mean, change is change, and it's one thing to say, oh, I don't want the doctor to go. That's okay, but for you to say, which is literally word for word what people are saying now, is that it's unacceptable that she is a woman. They don't care who it is. They care that she's a woman.
And we actually, and I apologize, this is part 2 of our review.
We had a little bit of a
reaction because the video decided to stop for no reason. So anyway.
But we fixed it and we're back.
So this is part 2 of our reaction. And during the small break, we also were talking about Haley Atwell.
Yes.
You said that she had actually posted that she was the doctor.
No, it was Jenna Coleman.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Jenna Coleman, who was originally Matt Smith's companion, and
Haley
Clara.
Atwell did too,
Clara.
actually.
Oh, see, I didn't see hers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. She would have been good, though.
I agree.
And Jenna Coleman would have made a great doctor.
They both had positive reactions. Mm-hmm. And it's ironic because, I mean, we already know, because thus Capaldi, that the doctor, whenever he sees a face, he can revisit that face as the doctor. So when he saw himself at Pompeii and, kind of commented it was a familiar face, it's because it's his own. Right. So, it could actually have been Jenna Coleman. I mean, come on.
It could still end up being.
She wove herself throughout his timeline anyways.
Right. As the impossible girl.
As the impossible girl. So the impossible girl could be the impossible time lady, I'm just saying. But I actually wanted to also read a quote from Whittaker herself. Jodie Whittaker said that she hopes the show's fans won't be scared by her gender. So she's already, that was her primary fear, is that there'll be a lot of backlash, which obviously there has been and is currently.
Which is very unfortunate, but...
She also said, because this is a really exciting time for Doctor Who, and Doctor Who represents everything about change. The fans have lived through so many changes, and this is only a new, different one, not a fearful one. So that's what, she told Radio Times in an interview about this. So, I mean, we know that there's going to be people who don't like that she's a girl. I mean, and some people may say we're biased because we are women.
I wish they would.
But come on, I mean, male and female alike have loved Missy. Male and female alike loved Romana.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I've actually been to Timegate. I've been to conventions where they've spoken about Doctor Who. Our very own local beloved Conuga has their British track is amazing. And shout out to Conuga. And the British track is just simply amazing. And one of the panel speakers was actually talking about how brilliant Romana was in humanizing the Doctor. And even as a time lady, having seen what he had, having experienced what he had, and still being kind of a light to his darkness, a yin to the yang kind of
That's
thing.
kind of what the companions have always been, though. Mm-hmm. No matter who it was, there was always
enough to lead
balancing.
A woman leading the Time Lords and Time Ladies, a woman as the president, a woman. I mean, this is something that's this is status quo right now that we've already experienced with this latest election. The possibility of a woman being the president. So imagine the Time Lords and Time Ladies being led by a woman and being okay with it. I mean, this has already happened. This is in the Who universe history.
It's canon.
So it's already been introduced in a way. Yes, I mean, obviously Tom Baker was the Doctor, and
for a lot of
is
people,
the
yes.
Doctor. I mean, come on. In many ways, he is still the Doctor, but look at him making an appearance in the 50th. I mean, my heart. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yeah.
Too many feels right now.
So many feels. But I'm really, really happy. David Tennant is nodding in affirmation. I'm very happy.
David Tennant is amazing.
That we're going to see how Jodie works and to see the new writing that goes with this. They just reintroduced the iteration of the Cybermen that we've seen recently. They've just a lot of different things that they've introduced.
Terrifying.
I wonder how they're gonna proceed onward. What other villains are gonna come back. I can't say one thing, spoilers. But anyway, I wonder how people that were villains that are now good people are gonna kind of turn out, and we'll see.
And all I say is, if you're upset about the change just because it's a different person, then that's understandable, and I would definitely say give them a chance, because that's not fair to anybody, regardless of who it is. But the ones that are just all concerned about the gender, I really hope that they take a step back and understand how insane that is, and also give her a chance to prove herself, because this is her first time being a doctor.
This is the first time we've ever had a female doctor.
It is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a huge amount of pressure for her.
Exactly. And going into that's a great segue, because think about this too. She's going to be judged harsher.
Yeah.
And with more...
than any of the other doctors.
Yes, and with more scrutiny on her than any other doctor has ever had. Because she is the first female doctor. It's like, it's like in Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica, when they made their appearance, the original Star Trek Next Generation had already happened, so they were scrutinized very much so, and people sometimes to this day still hate Janeway.
Yeah.
With a passion.
For no reason.
I mean, there's a lot of people who, they will judge harsher because she is female. And she knows that, and she's still willing to take it on anyways. I mean, truly, she is brave and courageous.
Yes.
The role in and of itself is it's like James Bond. It's like these iconic roles that do change, and they're still that same agent, still the doctor.
But then
still
she has the fandom to deal with too.
Yeah, she has this fandom. She has the pressure of being the doctor. The pressure of being that person, this role model for males and females alike. I mean, that person that people have loved for generations. She has that pressure.
Yeah.
And can you imagine? I mean, that's daunting. Very daunting. So, I mean, I think she has a lot on her plate, a lot to deal with. And I hope that the fans... I appreciate all the fans that have been supportive. I just hope more people can kind of step away from it for a second and be like, I'm going to hold out scrutiny until we see how she gets along, or what happens.
And regardless of, the casting in general, like any of the doctors, Eccleston, Tennant, whoever, they were chosen for a reason. They were all chosen for a reason. They don't go, the people that do the casting and write and all that stuff, they don't do this stuff like, oh, we're just gonna, hey, you. Like, it doesn't work like that.
There's a lot that goes into the
There is a huge process. There is a huge, amount of, decision making and the auditions and all that stuff. There is a reason these people are chosen.
And they've actually said that they don't want one doctor to be just so much like the previous doctor. They want them to have their own kind of...
Well, and that's what makes it so great, because like 9, 10, 11, 12, and obviously 13, they're all going to have their thing. Like, like Eccleston. I don't remember, his was fantastic. And then Tennant had, Alonzi.
But,
and they all have.
Let's say this too. I mean, Moffat himself described Eccleston as being the tiger, the predator almost.
Very much.
As Tennant as being the Tigger, the bouncy one. And
he had his moments too, but...
Yeah, and Matt Smith, for a second, there was one episode, I don't remember which one, that I kind of hated Tennant, because he went really dark.
Yeah.
Really fast.
I think I know which one you're talking about too, and it was really scary.
No.
It was, no, he
I need to figure out which episode that was, and I was like, no, stop that. It wasn't Water on Mars, was it?
I don't think
remember.
so.
Anyway.
But he did. I don't know I don't remember exactly what happened or why, but he kind of just went off the deep end. And I was like...
scared the crap
and I was
out of
never
me.
scered of him before that.
He went Kilgrave, y'all. Kilgrave.
And see, Smith did the same thing. Like, Smith started out all, look how cute and charming and clumsy he is. And then all of a sudden, Pandora's speech. Like, oh my God.
That was the most badass thing ever.
Like...
Come on. He was like... challenging
if you were not afraid of him before then, and honestly, even his first episode, he was already like bring it.
He was like, I am the guardian of the earth.
I'm
Come
the
at
doctor.
me. I'm the doctor.
Basically, run.
Yeah, and I mean,
Sorry.
with Smith, he was like the lovable tomcat that falls off the couch and acts like you meant to do it. So, and Capaldi's grumpy cat. We all know. Grumpy cat.
He totally is the grumpy cat. He actually like I said, it took a little bit to get used to him.
Yes,
but I love the relationship that he built with Clara, and that was one of my favorite. And I'm sorry because a lot of people didn't like her for some reason, and I hated
maybe
hearing
it's because she started out as a Dalek. Spoilers.
My point is,
or in
she was he rescued her.
Yeah.
But my point is that a lot of people didn't like her, but he came to be kind of attached to her, and he never got attached to anybody.
Yeah.
And so it was really
Except
cute.
that sexy dinosaur.
Right? But it was really cool to see him, because Capaldi had his scary moments too. Like, I mean, he would go from 0 to like, I'm gonna murder everybody.
Like this crap he's been